everyone, Miss S is here. Today we are talking about the science and we're gonna learn together. Before starting the lesson, I wanna ask you two questions. Do you know what is matter? Have you ever heard of a state of matters? Or do you know how many matters do we have? If you don't know the answer, it's totally fine. We're gonna learn together today. In this video, we're gonna talk about matters, state of matters, how many matters do we have, and even more. So let's start the lesson. Before starting the lesson, I want you to look around yourself and tell me 2 or 3 things around you. I'm gonna look around myself too. I could see a book. I could see my cup of water and the chair I'm sitting on it. How about you? I'm sure 2 or 3 things you already named, and that's great. Let me tell you something. These are all matters. Exactly. Everything around you is matter. The clothes that you are wearing now, the glass of water, the pen, book, chair, your coloring pencil, your food, your pet, even the air that you breathe in and breathe out. These are all matters. What is matter? Matter is everything around us. Sometimes we can't see the matters. Like I could see this pen, I could hold it, feel it. Sometimes I cannot see the matter, like exactly the air around us. We are sure in a room is filled with the air, but we cannot see it. So matters is everything around us. And sometimes we could feel the matter, we could see them, sometimes we cannot. These are all matters. Great. So let's think. This ice cube is matter, water is matter, pen is matter, and other stuff. How we categorize them? Do they have anything in common or they have different properties? Definitely they have different properties. That's why we are going to the next step. We categorize the matters. We categorize the matters in 3 different categories: solid, liquid, gas. These 3 different categories, they have their own properties that we're gonna review together. So let's start with solid. Let me bring some examples of the solid here. Ice cube, pen, Minecraft block, building block, balloon, book, cup. These are all solids, right? Look at them carefully. And what do you think? What is in common between these solid things? Good job. These solids, they keep their shapes. They have a specific shape and they keep their shape unless you change it. Like if I have this building block and I smash it and try to break it with a force, it changes shape. But unless you don't put any force on it or try not to break it, it keeps its shapes. For example, I put this cube inside this cup. It keeps its shape. It doesn't change its shape. If I put this cube on this book, it keeps its shape, right? If I leave it here for 2 or 3 days or even more, does it change its shape? No, the shape gonna be the same. So solids, some things that keeps its shape unless you change it, right? And we have so many solids around us: chair, rocks, book, pencil. And if you feel them, okay, you could feel they are hard. You cannot break them easily. Like, this is hard. You cannot break it easily. These are solids. Let's go to liquid. Liquid is something like this: water, milk, juice. Look at this milk. This is liquid, right? And it's in this cup. If I pour this milk into its container, does it keep its shape? No, it gets the shape of this container now, right? How about the water? If I pour the water from this container to this container to this cup, it's gonna get the shape of its container. Same liquid, different container, and liquid gets the shape of the containers. So this is the property of liquid. Liquid, they don't have shape. They get the shape of the container. And the next one is gas, air around you. You breathe in, you breathe out. You put the air inside this balloon. It fills with the air now. Air fills the space of its balloon, right? If I put more air, it gets bigger and bigger. Sorry for the noise. This is gas. Like the birthday balloons, we put the helium gas in it, right? Helium is kind of the gas. Gas most of the time doesn't have any smell and you can see it, but it's around you. So far we learned about what is matter and how many matters do we have. Matters is everything around us, and we have 3 different matters: solid, liquid, and gas. Good job. You did great so far. So I want to ask you something else. Do you think this ice cube, which we categorize it as a solid, can turn to the water if I leave it here for a couple of minutes? You could see the water here now, right? It start melting. The process, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Matters can change to each other. This ice cube, which was solid, if we keep it in the room temperature, after a while, it changed to the water. It turned to the water. And water is liquid. So it changed the matter, right? The state of the matter is changed from solid to liquid. Do you think this change is reversible? Can I have ice cube from that water again? Yes. How? If I put this water, which is liquid, into the refrigerator, in the cooling area, in the process of freezing, I'm gonna get ice cube again, right? So if the solid heated, turn to the liquid, we call it melting. If this water freeze and cooled and turn to the solid, we call it freezing. How about liquid to gas? Can you give me an example on how liquid can turn to the gas? I'm sure all of you see it. Let me tell you. Have you ever seen boiling water on a stove or on a kettle? When water is boiling, the steam comes out of the water, right? The steam comes out of the boiling water. The steam is gas. And boiling water is liquid. So the process of turning boiling water to gas, we call it evaporation. So if we heat the liquid water enough at a certain point, it turns to the gas. We call it evaporation. Does gas can turn back to the water? Yes. This gas, which is very hot, heats the cold surface. It can turn to the liquid and we have a droplet of water. We call it condensation. So we learned a lot today. We learned what is matter. Everything around us is matter. What is a state of matter and how many state of matters do we have? We have 3 state of matters: solid, liquid, and gas. And also another thing that we learned, that these matters can turn to each other under a certain process: melting, evaporation, condensation, and freezing. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'm so proud of you all, and see you soon.